All right, last but certainly not least, Lauren Silva, coming up next on the Chris Top program. Okay, listen carefully. It's WABA, not WOBA. It stands for Working on Being Awesome. Will I ever be awesome? Probably not, but it gives me something to do.
The Chris Top program, only on iHeartRadio and Spreaker.com.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Ladies, are you tired of carpet munching? Are you tired of vagina on vagina action? And guys, is it time to lock that back door up for good? Are you tired of the same old story where the bishop meets the fireman? TCTP has a product just for you. Listen up.
Introducing Homo Nomo. Simply apply Homo Nomo to your body and you will be Homo Nomo. That's right, guys. Time to say goodbye to the rest stops and the bathhouses. And ladies, you can finally dress like women.
Maybe you've tried Homo Nomo and you feel like it was the wrong decision. Well, guess what? We've got some great news for you. You can reverse the process. For a limited time only, you can purchase Homo Samo.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to clean some carpet.
Sounds good, Holly. And my back door, it's always open.
Homo Nomo and Homo Samo are ready to ship today.
Call now because supplies are limited. This product brought to you by TCTP.
Has been a Chris Top, Holly Stalin production.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Mr. Pop.
Portions of today's broadcast are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there wasn't that of that crack back in 1970. We didn't know about the World War Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groovy long hair, just walking in style with a party full MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program. Chris Top program. Wanna hear the music on the Chris Top program. Yeah, you can hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
Sunny Clarksville, Tennessee.
You can hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
Yeah, the one and only Chris Top.
Broadcasting live from our lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. What a day.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn.
Honest to goodness, it seems like we just started at 6 o'clock, and now it's already 10.
My tailbone's telling me that we've been
Sure.
going for hours.
Sure. But at least we got to swim in before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I can freaking do because of my back. We just sound like two really old people.
We do. We're like, oh, my back, oh, my tailbone.
My tailbone and my back is going to break on me.
Sonny boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Sonny boy.
Yeah. And I think...
Those were the days.
Now, I think Lauren is going to call us.
Lauren is attempting to call.
So we may hear the Skype go off.
Mm-hmm.
So just in case, that's what's going on. So now we tried to get Lauren on once before. Mm-hmm. And
Skype dorked up.
Yeah,
on
it
us.
did. And, you know, I am such a big fan of hers. And don't get me wrong, I love country music. Mm-hmm. But we do a lot of country music interviews.
We do.
So it's refreshing to get some different stuff every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Abby's stalking my feet.
Abby, don't do that.
She likes it.
What is she doing? Now, and with Lauren, you've got the R&B, the soulful feel, and she is good. Mm-hmm. She is good at what she does. And if you haven't had a chance to check out her website and listen to some of her other stuff, you know, watch her YouTube stuff, you need to go and check it out because we've only got 4 songs. Mm-hmm. But she's got a whole array of stuff that you can definitely check out. So we're going to have her on the show. I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed.
Ding. Cross your toes, too. We've got a Skype alert.
She's like one of those mythological creatures. You just don't know.
I don't know what you're going to get.
But we are definitely... let's just not do the Skype interview. We'll get her just to come on by.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. So we'll get her just... I think I hear a limo right now. And that's how she rolls. I don't think that's a limo sound.
How about...
Whenever she comes by, and like the disco ball comes out, and like a piano like rises up out of the floor, and then you just turned it into a porn. What was that?
I don't know.
What was that all about? I don't even understand.
Yeah.
Let's talk about hotties, but on this show we're going old school with Historical Hotties, a Chris Top program production. Hi, I'm Chris Top. I want to welcome you to the very first episode of Historical Hotties. This show's not only educational, but it also helps us think outside the box. In other words, every guy's rated Megan Fox and Kate Upton. I mean, I know they're hot, but it gets a little boring after a while, right? So why not raise a few eyebrows next time you're hanging out at the water cooler with the guys and throw this one out there? Who's hotter, Margaret Thatcher or Betsy Ross? See where I'm going with this? The possibilities, they're endless. Just when you think you ran out of historical hotties, bam, a new history book comes out. So today's question, who's hotter, the Statue of Liberty or the Mona Lisa? All right. First things first, let me get this out of your head. Every woman that we talk about on the show is going to be a historical figure, which means they could be hundreds and hundreds of, maybe even 1,000 years old. So more than likely, they're going to be sporting some bush. And I'm not talking 70s bush. I'm not talking disco balls rolling out when they take their pants off. I'm talking Columbus discovers the new world and sees all the forest kind of bush. That's what we're looking at. So, with that being said, don't even consider the bush. Just forget about it. Just paint a mental picture of whatever makes you the happiest. Could be cleanly shaven. It could be the landing strip. It could be a Brillo pad. I don't care. I don't know you. I don't know what's in your mind. Let's take a look at the Mona Lisa first. She's pretty voluptuous. She's a brunette. She's a little on the pale side, but maybe that's what you're into. Is she smiling? I'm not really sure, but what really matters is I bet she's sporting a pretty big rack. I mean, let's face it, if a girl's going to have an oval face like that, she's going to have some big hooters. Okay, the downside, no matter where you walk in the room, she's watching you, which means that the nights out with the guys are going to be limited. You can forget about having an affair because she's going to bust your ass. And who the hell's going to know if she's mad or not because she's going to have that look on her face where you just can't quite tell. Okay, the Statue of Liberty, I guess she's perfect if you're into the tall, green, athletic type. Seriously, if you ever get into a bar fight, this chick has your back. Obviously, she likes to read, and she likes to have a lot of light while she's doing it. Smart and athletic. What more could a man ask for? Okay, the downside. There's only one that I can think of, and it's a big one. She welcomes everybody. She doesn't turn anybody away, meaning she's probably a big slut. So, my vote... the Mona Lisa. She may watch every move you make, but at least she's not a hooker. And you won't have to wear a body condom when it's finally your turn after the other 50 million people have had a shot. Thanks a lot for listening to Historical Hotties. Make sure you also check out the Chris Top program on Spreaker.com and on iHeartRadio.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
You are absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. I'm going to go a little further here. A little bit further. We do not, nor will we ever take any of you for granted, because there are a million other things you could do, but guess what? You chose to listen to us. Makes us feel pretty damn good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was way too loud.
Hey, I had to get my last one in there.
Okay, now we've got Lauren Silva in our air-conditioned studio, and she's sipping on lemonade today. So, Lauren, how are you?
I'm hot.
It's hot
I'm in Texas in the middle of August. It's 100-something degree weather out here, but I'm awesome because I'm finally on the line with you guys.
That makes me feel so good because we could not wait to talk to you. And we were just talking about before we got on, I'm such a fanboy. And I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Fanboy, no fanboy.
I can't remember if you contacted us first or we contacted you.
I don't remember either. I feel like, okay, do you know a JP Summit?
JP Zammit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, JP. Yeah, I think he actually contacted me and said, you need to contact Chris on. I think that's how it happened. I think.
Well, I think, yeah, and you contacted us then, and then I went and I watched one of your videos. It was a cover song, and I watched it like 8 times. And I was like, wow, she's really good. And then you started sending me all this original stuff, and I'm just so impressed. And it's refreshing, and it's new. I mean, I don't hear stuff like this all the time. And I can tell it absolutely comes from your soul. And it's relatable. I mean, it's so many things rolled up into your music, and it's even more than music. It's more of a feeling, I think. And you're getting conceited right now, aren't you? I can tell.
No, I'm just. I don't say. I'm just really appreciative. Whenever I hear people say that in general, I always feel like, okay, mission accomplished, because that's literally where, I mean, you got it. Like, I don't know how else to be, but just from the soul. So, and not everybody always gets that. So I really appreciate that.
And what really won you over with us are the dorky pictures that you sent.
You should have seen my one today. Like I was in the studio, my film studio yesterday, because we're actually releasing a new music video I'm really excited about. We'll talk about that later, hopefully. But yeah, and my one of the directors took this screwdriver. I was actually taking a selfie, and he majorly bombed. The photo bombed me. He like stuck this screwdriver next to me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I just made this face, and he took the picture. And then, and coincidentally, like, you can see him even in the mirror in the back. I was like, and I posted today, I was like, dude, major, like, selfie photo bomb of, like, the year.
Uh-huh.
Now, you are always busy. You're always doing something, or you're performing, or something. Do you not ever have any downtime at all?
When I sleep.
Yeah. Or do you even want downtime? I mean, I know you're doing what you love, right?
Absolutely. My downtime consists of seeing like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie recently.
Oh, did you see that?
I want to see it so bad.
Of course I did. That's my freaking That's my area.
Dude,
yeah.
We haven't seen that yet, and I want to see that so bad.
Because I was like almost like hesitant about it before, but I mean, I've heard people talk about it. I've seen the trailers, and I don't know. This might be actually pretty good.
Oh, it's
I'm kind of
good.
excited.
It's going to be good.
Absolutely. And you know what? Actually, I'm the same way, because I was obviously, you're very. It's a very serious thing, right? It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the first movie that came out.
Right.
It was like just revolutionary. It was like it changed everything. But then, at the same time, I'm still like, okay, even if the movie's crappy, I'm still just, you got to stay true, right? You got to stay loyal to what it is and go see it. And it's Michael Bale, right? So it's like, you think it's going to be like all this dialogue and all this thing like he was in the Transformer movies, because he's the one who directed it. But it wasn't. It was really actually, you know what? Honestly, the only thing is it was a lot less storyline than the actual original Turtles movie. And it was a lot more action.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, it was really, really cool. And my favorite turtle was always Raphael. And they made him just look so freaking like, he was just like this testosterone, like overload, just bam guy in this one.
Bam.
So if Raphael was real, would you date him, even though he's a turtle?
Raphael is real.
Oh, it's funny because I don't know. Okay, so you could probably relate then. Like, it almost is like, it's like it is a real guy, right? You almost forget they're freaking turtles.
Right. Right.
That's what makes it so genius, right? But yes, I mean, the whole turtle thing, yeah, I don't know about that. But like, as a person, I think that's my type right there.
Do you want to date a turtle?
So even a turtle would have a chance with Lauren Silva.
Maybe.
Oh my God. I hope not.
Now, speaking of that, before we get into any of the music.
Speaking of turtles.
And I ask everybody this question. I'm not picking on you. All right, and these are questions that I've had bottled up for a while. Okay.
Oh, please go with it. Yes.
Now, are you dating anybody? Or are you in a relationship? Or are you not? Like, what's going on?
They actually have even a Facebook. They have an option for this. You can select. It's complicated.
See, I kind of figured she would say something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't we all, though? I mean, I think all of us women have, I don't know, something, right?
She's just going to leave it complicated.
It's complicated.
No. Okay, I'll be honest. You know, I use the whole, like, I'm single, but I'm also not available. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well,
does that make sense?
Are you just invoked in your music and in love with your music that you don't have time?
Or you just don't want, you know?
I'll be honest with you, absolutely not. That's actually not it. Honestly, like, it used to be kind of like I used to even wear like the treble clef music note ring on my wedding, you know, finger and be like, yeah, I'm married to the music. That was years ago. I actually really would like to be able to balance the two and really would like a family, would like to settle down and kind of figure it out somehow. But until it happens naturally, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and kind of until somebody like steals my heart. That's just the way it has to go because it literally has to go like that. I'm not looking, you know, so I kind of like, I'm not like playing the field or whatever the heck you want to call it. Because I don't believe love happens that way. I think you don't choose who you fall in love with. It finds you. So you kind of just do your thing and then it drops out of nowhere. And if it's really real and you're not, you know, it doesn't like, you're not going according to like a checklist or a piece of paper or stability or something you're getting into for the wrong reasons where it's really not even about you. I think that's really when it happens, and that's when it happens forever. So call me a hopeless romantic, whatever, but like that's just kind of how I've always been my whole life, to be honest. Because some of the guys I've fallen for, it's been like, really? I mean, no.
It's those darn guitar players and drummers, isn't it?
Oh my God. Okay, well, guitar players, yeah. Because you know what? Honestly, what happens though is because when you live this life and you're always doing this, it's like the only kind of men you're even around are the freaking musicians, and they're not always like, they don't have the best like reputation, right? But like, you know, you end up being around these people and somehow you know, sparks, whatever happen or chemistry happens. But like, you know, still even then though, like I'll be honest with you, I would never want to fall for a musician. It's just kind of always happened that way.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's what you're around. Well, hopefully one day your turtle in shining armor will show up.
Yeah.
You never know.
You know what's so amazing? What I really loved about you guys is the fact that I saw that for the first time, Adorkable. I thought that was the most amazing. I never even thought of that, or I even was like, oh my gosh, I have to like write a song about that or put that in a song.
You could put that in a song. Just make sure you mention us somewhere.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes, no, but that was just, it was incredible. I was just like, because for me, like I always fall for the kind of people, even as friends, females, whatever, the kind of people I connect with are like the dorks, like just this amazing adorkable. It's
so
perfect.
you fit right in with us then.
Yeah.
We could make you a. We could
see. There's the chemistry. That's why we connect. Yeah.
We could make you an honorary co-host.
There we go.
Thing just every once in a while.
What would a co-host?
I don't know.
Do?
I mean, just whatever she can do. I guess. Like every once in a while, she could say, "Hey."
What's
up? Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. Now, I do want to get going with your music because I know that there are people listening right now that have never heard you. Now we did play some of your stuff on the show a while back. Now, but I want you to sort of talk us into these songs. Like, I want you to let us know what's going on. We have to say hi to everybody first. We've got Dyslex.
Who's again in the wrong chat.
But I think he's he's in the right chat now.
Oh, okay.
He's in the right chat now. So, Dyslex, you guys are going to absolutely get ready. I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with Lauren. You absolutely are. But we've got, let's see, Dyslex in there. We've got Steph in there. Steph said Dorks Unite.
Yeah.
Let's see. The chat is top-tastic.
Dorks of the world unite.
And of course we've got JP in the chat. And he absolutely loves you to death.
Which is short for JP.
Oh, JP. Hi, JP. Thank you for connecting us.
Right, for sure. And JP, he's a busy guy. He follows just all kinds of people, and he actually puts us in contact with a lot of people, a lot of great artists like Lauren. So I really and you're going to have to play in Canada sometime, Lauren, so JP can come see you.
Yes.
I would absolutely love to. You know, recently I just heard that some of the songs were getting some radio play in Canada. So hopefully
sweet.
That'll lead to that. Yeah.
Sweet. Now, you know, I have a personal request as well, and I think I speak for Allie too, but you got to get out to Nashville sometime too.
You know what's funny? I actually used to go to Nashville all the time. One of my co-writers is out there. Have you heard of Damian Horn?
I have not.
No.
But maybe you can hook us up sometime.
Yes, and I actually was just out. You know what's funny? I was just out in Nashville, I think, right before I met you guys. And I remember when I found out you guys were out there, I was like, darn it, if I would have known, like, I could have, come meet you guys. I want to meet you guys face to face, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to play out in Nashville, too. I used to live in Nashville years ago.
Well, when you make it back around, you better let us know, or we're going to be so upset.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And a good time to come is always the AM or the CM or the CMA Fest. I couldn't get it out.
That's right.
Yeah. So
my first time actually in Nashville, I came out for GMA Week,
mm-hmm.
Gospel Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 18, I was on this label, and my first experience actually, even with any kind of music industry people at all, was actually GMA Week in Nashville, and that was back, like I said, when I was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
You would fit right in, for sure.
It was awesome.
Now, we were set up during the awards. We were set up at BB King's, so you'd be perfect there. I mean, people.
I actually played there.
Oh, see,
yes.
It's a small world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and where else? Mercy Lounge, is that one? Is there a Mercy?
Yeah, I think so. I've never been there, but I think I know what you're talking about.
And then I actually worked on, when I first moved to Austin, I actually was working on a record with a producer out in Nashville, and we did the hard rock. We did when Melissa Etheridge was doing the Pinktober
mm-hmm.
for cancer.
Yeah.
We played one of her event at the Hard Rock that year.
Oh, that's exciting.
In Nashville.
That's exciting. That's a pretty big venue to play.
It was incredible. It was one of the most amazing things ever. We have a video of that somewhere on YouTube.
Cool. I'll have to stalk it, see if we can find it. Yeah. Okay, now so we're gonna play "I Do," and when I heard this, I just was not expecting this from you. It's different than the other stuff that you've given me. Different in a good way. I mean, it's very sexy, and I did appreciate the male vocals in it as well. So
the rapper.
Yeah, it was really cool, and you guys go well together.
Thank you.
So where did this song come from?
So originally, so my dad's side of the family is from the Madeira island of Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I come from obviously a family line of roots in the island whole thing, and then I actually was born and raised in San Diego, California, but then later on in life, I moved to Hawaii. And so Hawaii became my home. And that's still, when I say home, I consider Hawaii more home. And because even when I was living in San Diego, my mom, I have I have some history of a great-great-grandmother who's actually from Hawaii. But also my mom raised me up on, because she was very close with Don Ho and all his family, and so the Hawaiian roots were always just kind of implanted in me at a young age, and the Hawaiian music and just the culture and all kinds of stuff. And so it just kind of seemed naturally. I ended up moving there later on in life, and it became home. And so also Clay Campagna, he's also an artist from Hawaii, and he lives out here in Austin also. And so we collaborated on this song, writing it together and producing it together. And it was kind of just I always wanted to write a more dance hall, kind of showing a little bit more of my island roots side. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it came from.
Sweet. Okay, so we're going to play it. And this is the fifth time I've heard it already. Cool. And this is called "I Do." Lauren Silva, right here on the Chris Top program.
You're the master, I'm the everything. I am the girl lost in this ecstasy. You're the rapture, I'm the ending. You are the last of what I've been searching for. What I've been searching for. So you think that you're the only one for me, that you can lock me up, that I won't set me free? I do. Yes, I do.
played the part. Remember the love, the love, the love you used to paint my heart. It's just like magic.
It's just like magic, girl.
How we fell apart. And the remnants are your piece of art.
You're my work of art, girl. I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
So you think that you're the only one for me? That you can lock me up? That I won't set me free? I do. Yes, I do. So you think that I will never be afraid to open up my eyes and watch you walk away? I do. Yes, I do. Oh, 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 oh. So you think that you're the only one for me? That you can lock me up? That I won't set me free? I do. Yes, I do. So you think that I will never be afraid to open up my eyes and watch you walk away? I do. Yes, I do. Oh, 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 oh.
I know, you know that I'm the one for you. No one can touch a big girl the way that I do. You opened up my eyes, I'll never walk away from you. I want you, I do. I'll take you around the world, anywhere you want to go.
Flying high and flying, 'cause I'm the only girl.
Tell me now, tell me, do you want to? Or do you want to?
Yes, I do.
You know, I hear your stuff, and it's like it almost just leaves me breathless every time. Mm-hmm. It's just
it's like trance-like.
I bet you put on a hell of a live show.
It's fun.
Well, I mean, if you're having fun, then you probably do.
It's, you know, it has to be that. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's why I stay independent. It's because I want to make sure I have the freedom to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I just really, like, we all make it possible, you know, like, I have the most incredible musicians. It took a very long time to find them. It's like a relationship, you know, everything's just got to be right in order for you to kind of do life together. And so in order for the songs to get, you know, because I grew up on the stage. I've been on stage since I was 5 years old. So the live performance is actually really where I'm the most comfortable. And just recently I started getting into like more producing and even the recording studio didn't come to me until I was around like 18 years old. I've never even been in a studio until then. But before then I was always on stage. So the live performance is kind of what I'm used to. And so it has to be like, it can't just be, you know, someone just goes, oh, that's just a great, my thing has always been like, it's an experience, you know, like we're all there together. We're all like kind of doing life together, even the audience members that I don't even know, and everyone on stage, like it has to be this experience. And so that's always been I don't know, like I used to actually hate the studio. I mean, I've grown to love it now, but I used to hate it because it was so like night and day compared to just that experience you get when you go to a live show, and when you're able to somehow, it's unexplainable, but when you're able to capture, like when everybody it's almost like we all feel like we're one, you know, that's just such an amazing, incredible feeling. And I never know, that's something you can't ever plan out or ever like know if or when that ever is going to happen. It just kind of does. But when it does, it's the most like incredible, euphoric feeling ever. And it's like, you realize then at that moment, this is why I do what I do, you know? I don't know. That's just me anyway.
You know, I was going to ask you, I mean, do you ever just miss being at home? Because it seems like you're on the move so much. But I guess from hearing you talk and the things that you say, when you're performing, you are home.
Yeah, no, you know, you're right. I've always kind of been kind of nomadic, I guess. My home has always kind of been the people I meet along the way, and somehow I just belong there. And so I kind of feel like I have home all over the place because I've lived in so many different places, and I've been on the streets since I was on the streets when I was a kid. So, you know, I don't know, like I said, I mean, yeah, it's just that. So I don't really, I guess my idea of home is different than, it's not your, like an actual home you go to every day. And that's kind of, or like a family's home you go to, or where you grew up. Like, so for me to be even able to call like somewhere home, like Hawaii, that's big for me. 'Cause usually home's been like like spread out all over the place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So whenever I go back to Hawaii, it's like, it's home. 'Cause it's almost like, I don't know, it was like I was destined to be there or something. 'Cause ever since I moved there, I felt like I was supposed to like be there all along. Like I belonged there,
Yeah. Now,
So,
can you do the little dance with the grass skirt on and thing and that stuff?
The hula
you know
dance.
what's funny
the
is
hula dance.
there's so many touristy things that happen. Like, like that whole like aloha, like nobody freaking does that. Like, nobody doesn't really do that. Come on, it's such a touristy thing. Yeah, and the grass skirt thing even. I mean, there are the outfits for the hula dancing, but they're not really like those cheesy little like things that are bobbing on your dashboard that you see all over.
Oh, I better
they
get
really
rid of
don't
mine.
look like
thing.
that. They're a little bit more involved, but yeah, I mean, but it's cool. Yeah.
But I mean,
That's
when
gonna be our little clip. Is don't freaking do that.
Right. Now,
Don't freaking do that.
Well, I mean, if you go to a luau, I mean, aren't there people doing the hula dance?
Oh yeah, the hula dance. But I mean the whole like grass skirt and coconut bra and all that thing. Like that's, I mean, it's a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a very generic, watered down version of it.
Sure.
But yeah. I mean, it's the hula dancing is absolutely freaking incredible, and it's beautiful. And I actually did hula dancing when I was a kid. So, I mean, I would never, ever do it now.
You could incorporate that into one of your shows, one of your live shows.
Well, actually, my thing is, because I was actually a dancer before I was a singer. So my actual form of dance was tap. And surprisingly enough, that was actually my first plan or my goal or whatever. I was so in love with tap dancing from the age of 5. And then I competed all over. Like that used to be my thing. Actually was more in dance. I competed and touring all over the US and doing stuff, and I absolutely loved it. And Gregory Hines was my like idol, and it was really, because I grew up, my teacher took from that urban style of tap, that Gregory Hines really brought, that he got obviously from others, but like, just that whole kind of like how it changed the game of tap. And that was my thing that actually I was way more involved and in love and passionate about. I didn't really get into singing, honestly, fully until I was about 18 years old. Like once I started getting into the studio and started, like I got.
But I mean, you were already comfortable. You were already comfortable in front of a crowd. I mean, the dancing, I guess, prepared you for that. So I guess it was just a comfortable fit for you right off the bat.
It was that, and then musical theater. I grew up in the musical theater. Did my first production when I was 6, and it was just my entire life. And so until I started going more into like the recording industry, and but I still have, I have dreams and hopes of being able to do the theater again. It's been a while, but I would do it in a heartbeat if it was, if it made sense and fit right. Or, I think about all the time, just kind of like forgetting the whole, like, whatever you call it, I don't know, music artist, solo, whatever, or recording thing, and just going off and even doing like a theater production, a local thing where I wouldn't even get paid.
That'd be cool.
Work like, I'd work like 40 hours. Well, I was about to say 40 hours a day, but that's not realistic. But that's what it feels like,
Sure.
because that's the kind of commitment it takes. But
absolutely. Well, you've got the background for it. I mean, you have to be able to sing and dance and act, and you can do all that. Well, I guess you can act.
It's just kind of, I don't remember how, it just kind of was, it's all I remember of my life. It's pretty much what saved my life with everything else that I grew up with. It's kind of the only thing that kept me alive and going, that I just remember. I just kept living for.
When you say saved your life, what do you mean by that?
I grew up really, I didn't grow up like a lot of kids. I didn't have what kids are supposed to have, and from parents in a stable home, and my home was never a safe place to be. And so I kind of just the arts is kind of, I don't know how I ended up in it. But my mom actually tells, it's kind of funny. We're cool now, you know, but she tells me like pretty much that she got me involved in dance just so that she could kind of get rid of me. Mm-hmm. I'm a very real person because, you know, my mom, we're very open about it now, realistic about it now, but she had a major substance abuse problem. Both my parents did. And my mom would, you know, when she found that I was kind of good at something, it was like, oh, great, I can leave her there and go do my thing for a while. And so It's really amazing, though, how that's why I always believe, like, you know, God has a greater plan always. You know, it seems like everything can be used for good, because even though she, you know, obviously that wasn't like you want to just dump your kid off somewhere, but like it was the start of a beautiful relationship. It made me meet my purpose, my destiny.
Yeah, I mean, everything has a reason, I guess. And
Absolutely.
You know, she could have just dropped you off at the mall, but it's almost like it was meant to happen, huh?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and it started from such a young age, which is really crazy because I just remember always being a workaholic too, like even just. And not feeling like I ever belonged kind of anywhere. Like nobody ever really got me because I was always kind of about this. Like I just knew it was like, I remember even like in school, I graduated, I was in, you know, the advanced classes and all that. But like, I remember actually doing more of my arts than I was even in school. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's just because of where my actual like heart was. But like, I remember like when we would do school reports and do things, and it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was always like, or what would you like to be? And I always just had this, like, it's not what I like to be. I'm already doing it. It was like, I always just was always doing already what I was going to do for the rest of my life. It's really weird.
So it's almost like it found you, and then you just use it to just climb your way out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And, you know, it's changed and it's taken on different meanings as life has gone on. But, 'cause now it's a way different thing where it's not even about me really at all. I'm just kind of a vessel, but like, you know, to hopefully do what I'm meant to do with it, and not do what, you know, it's not about a selfish gain at all now. It's more about others. And, you know, like, that's why I got a tattoo on my arm, and there's a reason for that, but it says, this is for you. And it's like, 'cause it's like, for me at the same time, like I could walk away from it at any moment if it's not serving the purpose that it's supposed to be for. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's, you know, I hear a lot of musicians or people say like, well, you know, I just have to, this is for me. I do music for me. And I just don't get that. I mean, I get it, you know, as far as like, you love it, it's your passion, but like, it's for others. I mean, you know, I believe like people who put the art out or whatever we do, like we have to be the ones that for some reason go through these crazy times, because we have to be able to tell that story to the others that, you know, need that from us to be able to help them or give them that inspiration or give them that, you know, whatever it is, you know, you never know. You can't really, it's so subjective. You never know how people are going to like it or relate to it. But like, there has to be those that just go through these crazy things, and hopefully we can survive through it.
Yeah, you know, I can definitely relate to what you're saying. I know Allie can too. I mean, we love to broadcast, and you know, if nobody listened, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it just to play back and hear myself. I mean, that's not the point.
Yeah, we do it for the people.
Yeah, so I can definitely relate with what you're saying, and you've got. Do you even know that you have a great message? Are you even aware of that? Because you're just talking to me like this is just a normal conversation for you, but I mean, this is a great message and a good inspirational story.
Definitely.
Do you ever look at it like that? I thought we lost her for a second. I was like, oh no, Lauren.
Dead air.
No, I'm here. I don't know. I just feel like I have a crazy, amazing, I have a testimony, and you know, it's like, I just really, like, even recently, like, hearing about Robin Williams, you know, it makes me sad. It really, I wish I wish I could just like, because I've been there and I know what that's like, and I know so many people do. I know, and I don't even understand, to be honest with you. Like, I don't understand how I'm even alive sometimes.
Well, hey, let me ask you this. Can we visit that spot just for a second after we play Hurt? Or would you rather not?
Oh, of course, that song. Okay, yes, because yes, that song goes with it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so tell me about Hurt, and then we'll go into it, and then we'll talk about maybe the darker side of your life when we after the song.
Okay, so Hurt was, you know, a lot of the songs I write are never about usually just one thing. Hurt was it. I guess the first inspiration was from relationship. It was the only person on the universe I was ever going to actually spend my life with, or ever got to that point with anyone. And, you know, and I guess I just thought it would be like, once I found him, it was going to be, everything else would just fall into place. And it didn't work like that, because reality is, you know, we're still people, and, or, you know, it could just not be what you thought. And so, but at the same time, there was like absolutely almost nothing he could do to make me not still love him. And so it was kind of like my kind of cry out, because I had believed also that God had brought him to me, that he was like the man I'd been kind of writing about in my journal or praying for. And, you know, so I thought it was supposed to be perfect. And so it was kind of like my kind of cry out to, you know, God, like, why does it have to hurt so bad? Like, and then it was also about just in general, like in life, like there's the most amazing things ever that we experience can also bring us the most like craziest pain. And it's like, I was just kind of like, why, you know, like, why does it have to hurt? Like, you know? Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
You know, I admire somebody like yourself that can take that pain and turn it around and put it into something that could possibly help somebody or mean something. So I don't know what it is, but we have not done a show yet that's made me tear up, and I'm tearing up right now. So there's something going on. So before we get too deep and before we play the song, there's a question in one of the chats. I have a question for Lauren. Does she have any song that she didn't really like or care for, but others told her it was good, so she put it out, and maybe now realizes it's good? I've never heard a question like that's very detailed.
That is a detailed question.
It's very specific.
I'm like almost confused. I'm like, wait, what?
Right.
Wait, okay.
I can break it down for you.
But then I heard that last part but now it's good.
Right. I can.
Because I have some stuff from older times where I was like, I put it out and it was bad. No, it was bad.
So maybe you had something you didn't like, somebody talked you into putting it out, and then once it was out, you liked it. I think that's what he means.
Okay, so there's this one song, but it's not out. So the only thing I can think of is a song that I actually am not legally allowed to put out. Mm-hmm. But there is a song that I recorded. It was a demo, and it was actually for, I think it was a demo like we had done for Pink or Kelly Clarkson or something. This was back when I was first working with more kind of pop hit writers or whatever you want to call, you know. And I was very it was weird. I had this very different way before, because I just was it was whatever. I was just closed-minded on stuff because of some bad experiences. Mm-hmm. But it was a song called Another Heartache, and it was actually written by the same Adam McInnes who wrote Hurt with me, actually. And he had me do this demo of this song, and I was very like, oh, this is so like just the cheesy kind of pop stuff that's been coming out lately, and this is so not me. But then it's funny because now I always play it live. But at the time when we recorded it, I was just like, oh my God, what are you making me do right now? And it was the first time I'd ever recorded anything with these particular people. And but it's not out, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of not exactly what he's asking, but it's kind of the only thing I could think of as far as, you know, matching that question. But at the same time, I'm hoping to be able to release it, because now I go back and listen to it, and I'm like, this is really, really cool. Like, we need to like come to some kind of agreement so we could actually release this. So maybe it will get released someday. Hopefully, we'll see.
I think it's good sometimes to have people in your life tell you what they like because it's almost like having a coach, I think, sometimes. Because, what you like may not be what other people like. So it's good to hear that stuff.
Very true, very true.
So I never really thought about it. But Steph Hardy, 28 in the chat, she says, Lauren, you are top-tastic. And that's a great compliment, by the way, in case you didn't know. All right, so we're going to play Hurt. By Lauren Silva, and when we come back, we'll have a little bit of a deep conversation.
Yeah,
and we'll see how that goes. But you're in the right place. This is the Chris Top program.
You're like a cut that never heals. The more I bleed, the less I feel. It's in your touch. The perfect drug that keeps me here and leaves me numb. If it's love, why does it hurt so bad? If it's enough, why does it take more than I have? I thought an angel's supposed to lift you up, lay you on a cloud. Why does it hurt? I'm lying here, covered in tears. The scars I try to hide remind me I still feel. I close my eyes, the fear surrounds. I'm crying now, but you just let me drown. If it's love, why does it hurt so bad? It's enough. Why does it take more than I have? I thought an angel's supposed to lift you up, lay you on a cloud. Why does it hurt? What do you want from me? What do you need me to be? 'Cause I've held my breath till nothing's left, and all you do is take. If it's love, why does it hurt so bad? If it's enough, why does it take more than I have? I thought an angel's supposed to lift you up and lay you on a cloud. Why does it hurt? No, oh. If it's love, why does it hurt so bad? It's enough. Why does it take more than I have? I thought an angel's supposed to lift you up, lay you on a cloud. Why does it hurt? You're like a cut that never heals. The more I bleed, the less I feel.
Sometimes I don't have to say anything, and I'm beginning to get it now, like why your songs are so meaningful, why I feel them like the way I do, and I don't see them as music, and that's probably one of the biggest compliments I've ever given anybody. It's more of a feeling, it's more of a sixth sense kind of thing, I guess. But you
that song was just, it was very, I just like, it was like you said, it was more of like a feeling. It's just like,
it's not even music. It's just it's beyond that. Now, you said something earlier that struck a chord with me. You brought up Robin Williams, and I have to say, when I was growing up, I grew up with him on Mork and Mindy, and then I saw him do The World According to Garp, and then next thing you know, he's the voice in Aladdin. He's on Dead Poets Society, and then I saw the movie Good Morning Vietnam. And that movie, I mean, that man is such an inspiration for me. And I know I'm not the only one. He was an inspiration for so many people. And you struck a chord with me when you brought up his name. And it's almost like you feel like you could have said something to him or shown him something that could have made a difference. And that's kind of where I'm wanting to go, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I okay, so Mork and Mindy was before my time, but, I really am thankful to one thing. My mom, like, she grew me up on these older classic, I mean, these things, like Mork and Mindy, for example, and then there was, I mean, I can also thank Nick and Night, because they played it.
Sure.
And I was always up late. But yeah, I mean, Robin Williams was huge for me too. And, it's funny though, because I also had my own share of problems or issues a lot like him. And I'm just going to be very real. Like when I would see psychiatrists when I was a kid I went through a lot of stuff. I was the victim of a lot of stuff, went through some tragedies and was kind of thrown into like the whole psychological world, the psyche world of psychiatrists and need help. And I just remember, and this is really weird and I have no idea how this is going to come across, but I also remember at a young age always seeing like all these psychiatrists had these like, the things up on the wall of famous people and giving all their diagnosis. And Robin Williams was always like at the top. And this is I remember this from the time I was ever visiting doctor's offices. Cause I had my share, I spent my share of time in group homes and, rehabs and stuff growing up. So I just remember, a lot of it was weird how, they always use like celebrities because it's supposed to make you feel like, hey, these people you even think are like invincible or the most amazing people in the world or they're perfect. They're not, they're actually, they're just like you and I, and they go through things too. So I just remember him always being around. And so hearing recently that was actually, I mean, I don't know if I haven't checked lately, but if they're assuming suicide or whatever, if that's been finalized, I'm not sure. But just knowing that, like, it just really makes me sad, I guess, a little bit more because I remember from my own history, like always hearing his name as an example of, but at the same time, I understand and I get it. It's like, my mom used to say that we were like a species of our own, like the ones that are like I was kind of talking about earlier, the ones that are so, I don't know what it is, but just able to, I guess, put it out there into a tangible thing that others can relate to. It's like we almost have to be so in tuned and almost really emotional or just so, I don't know, for lack of better words, but just jacked up in that way to be able to put it into something that people could relate to or kind of take it and use it for a tool or something that can help them or some kind of inspiration or even sometimes it's not even, sometimes inspiration will come from just hearing like something that you're going through and you hear someone else is going through it and that can be the inspiration somehow. It's weird, but like,
well, yeah, I mean, it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah, but then it's like, but the sad thing is like you almost have to be like that much in pain yourself in order to be able to put it out there in a way where it's that real and that believable, because the only way it can be believable is if you're actually living it or being it. And that's also been a very conflicting thing with me because I have had a very crazy life, troubled life, but like I'm not a victim also, and I don't live there, I don't stay there, but somehow
I'm so happy you said that, because you could have easily went the other direction and said, I'm a victim, woe is me, give me, but you're not like that.
Well, I was though. See, that's the thing. I was, and I've done my own share of like attempted, suicides. Like I just was scared.
you were alone. I mean, your mom was dropping you off, like you said to get rid of you, and you basically didn't have anybody to turn to. You had to fend for yourself. So, I mean, people couldn't blame you for making some wrong turns, because at a very young age, you were having to make these adult decisions.
Yeah. That's just it. Like, getting, being forced to grow up really fast. And with that, I will say my mom is, she's been in recovery she has like 17 years sober and clean and sober.
That's great.
So,
That's
I'm
good.
proud of her with that. Yeah, 17 years. She's awesome. And, I believe nothing is ever too late, and, you can always recover, or you can, always believe like too, you don't look to the past, you use the past to make things better, but not stay in the past or be a victim of it, and you can use it for the good. So, but at the same time, in reality, in a very realistic world, you still can never get that time back. And so there's a lot of things. Yeah, I was forced to learn things I've seen a child should never have to see and go through or whatever, and was lacking certain things. But, at the same time, like I said, that's why I believe in God so much, just because it was never taught to me, or I wasn't brought up in it. He rescued me, and I just am trying to, in a very non-religious way, if that makes sense, but a very realistic way. I believe he's our savior. It's exactly what it is. Like,
sure.
He shows us
how
the
long
way.
did it take
It's
you?
our decision,
How long did it take you? How many years did it take you before you started looking toward him?
It wasn't until I was about 20 years old, actually.
Mm-hmm.
When everything, and it was crazy. It was miraculous the way he like literally pulled me out of this like way. And I don't know why, I get asked so many I don't know anything. Like, I don't know why I was spared, and then why wasn't Robin Williams, for example, or, because at the same time, there's all these different things we could talk about, and you can get really crazy. But like, I think a lot of times, that's actually, to be honest, it makes me really sad, because I know there's some people that do things for a cry for help. And then there's some people that actually are really like, they do something to really finalize it. Like, there's no coming back from it. And it's
sure.
like, and that's kind of, and it just makes me sad, because I've been there. And honestly, one of the reasons why I do this is because also, so I can be amongst some of these people, these big celebrities. So I can just even not necessarily be as big as them, but just be able to rub shoulders with them. So maybe I don't know if there's something, maybe a hug or a smile or something that can just make a difference, maybe, and save their life. I have no idea. But like, that's just what I believe in my heart. Like, why I do what I do is so I can at least just be there. And because it's the whole life, like, people don't understand. Like, I hear so many people, like, they say like, oh, I don't feel sorry for them, they have everything and all this stuff. And it's like, I posted something recently about like, money has not yet made anyone rich. Like, so, and I hope people get what I mean by that.
Sure.
It's like, and it has to come from within, and money is never going to, there's never going to be material things that solve your problems or do the trick. It's got to be, where you can actually be at peace with nothing, and I've been there. And I mean, when I took time off to serve and just, be a missionary or whatever, it's like, it was the most amazing, most peaceful times ever. And I had like nothing, that no job, nothing to rely on. It was the most incredible experience of my life. So I learned how you can absolutely actually be way more enriched in life and peaceful when you have absolutely nothing. And you're just like serving, and that you're actually like making a difference, and you're actually even like have a part of saving people's lives. Like, it's incredible. Like, doctors and like all these people. I mean, I just can't. It's amazing, like, to be able to. I mean, that's obviously a much more dramatic way. Like, they're actually very literally saving people's lives. But like, there's ways you can do it in the smallest ways. Like, even
you may not even know what you're doing at the time.
And that's me, but that's what it's supposed to be like. Like, that's where God exists. You don't know you're doing it. You're just being, and you're just doing, and you're going with it. And if you hear stuff, and that's great, because it also is kind of like, okay, it confirms your path, confirms you're on the right track when you hear stuff, but you don't do it to hoping to hear that stuff. You just go about doing what you're meant to do. My auntie Glow, she's another one that I call my like lifesavers. She's back home in Hawaii. she always told me, she said, like, I don't know if she's listening, but hi, Auntie Glow, I love you. She always said, you know, it's kind of like you're just like some sheep. You're kind of just grazing along. You're just, sheep. They always got their faces down and they're always in the grass, right? And then occasionally you lift your head up. You know, you kind of, and then you realize what's going on in the world. You kind of realize what's going on. But most of the time they spend with their heads down, kind of just doing that's what they do, right? They kind of just graze along.
So much like us, huh?
Yeah, and then occasionally you like lift your head up and you cruise around. You're like, oh, so that's what's going on. Okay, and then you go right back to doing.
Well, why is it? Why is it that we spend so much of our lives with our heads in the grass, and then when we do take a moment to look up and we see things and we're like, wow, this is it. This is brilliant. But then we go back and put our heads down again. Why do we do that?
I don't know, and I've always wondered that too.
You know?
I think it's because we get older and we have responsibilities. There's like this pressure of the world standards, and if you can not go along with what the world says and along with what society tells you have to do and be, and politically and all this stuff, like, I mean, for me, if you want to know I'll just be straight up. Like, I care more about being biblically correct than politically correct. I'm not perfect by far, but like, if I just continue to go, you know, along with like, you know, do unto others as you do unto you, like, and, you know, plan your ways and God directs your steps, and, you know, like, do not be afraid. Like, he's always with you. Like, just to know that I think a lot of times we stop taking risks. We stop believing, we stop dreaming. I know it sounds corny, but it's like we stop being that way, and it's like, why do we stop doing that? Because we have a lot more responsibilities, yes, but like, I think we allow ourselves to get too involved and consumed by all that stuff, and it's like, who says that has to be like what we're really supposed to do?
I guess for some weird reason, a lot of times people, I think, just find comfort in maybe being miserable.
Sometimes, you know, I mean,
that's kind of sad.
It's a lot more. Yeah, it does take a little bit more work to like realize the positive, but it's like anything else. It's what does it take? Like 21 days to form a habit.
Yep.
If you like, just you have to make yourself. But I think that's another thing is we get older, so we get tired. We lose this lack of effort, or sometimes, or you end up kind of a little bit more comfortable, and so whenever you end up more comfortable, you stop doing the things, like it's like kind of like the dating thing, right? When you first go out with someone, you put on your best and you put on a bra, for God's sake, like you do things, and then all of a sudden you get comfortable and you stop it, like all that goes out the window. I think that goes along with everything. Like you stop kind of putting on your best for everything, and you get comfortable. And I'm definitely a victim of it. I mean, but then I realized, like, why do I feel jaded right now or bored? Okay, well then I need to do something to spice it up, or not with necessarily a relationship, just in general. Like, okay, I need to go do something that's going to make my heart beat really fast. So I need to go just try something new or something I would never do. And it's like that, though. It's like if people don't have that, and people can really naturally just stay in this routine and this pattern, and they're miserable. And I don't understand.
It's not the way to live life, because I mean, people do get into those habits where they keep living the day-to-day life, and it just gets, sometimes it's bearable, but are they really living life if they don't have anything to look forward to, or just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people just forget that they still have a purpose. Like, I think they think also, oh, that was when I was younger, when I was this or that. What do you mean? Like, you still are that. You still can be that. Like, your life is not over. What are you talking about? It's like, or it's like the kind of like the cup is half full or half empty. People look at it as half empty because it's like, okay, well now I'm older now, and it's like, okay, now I'm starting. It's like these are the beginning days of me kind of dying, and it's like that's just. Or I'm just kind of going with the motions.
It's the beginning days of living, It's the beginning days of, finding more out of life.
Okay, now I want to dig just a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna get happy after this. Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. But before we get happy, sometimes it gets darkest before dawn, right? Is that the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said that you'd been there, and you kind of left that open ended, like, and I'm just going to say it. When we were talking about suicide, you've been there. Like, how close were you? Like, what were you going through at that time?
Well, it started when I was at a young age. I was alone, but I had a friend. We also did theater together. We did a lot of stuff together. We were actually hosting a show together for this thing in Vegas that we were hosting. We were like, I was 11, he was 13. I knew him years before that. He was my only friend, my bestest friend. And we were actually, it's funny because we were actually hosting this show for this, it was like a nonprofit for kids in abuse situations. So we were both actually living lives of troubled situations, but then we were like kind of like the voice to help this other thing with no one knowing what we were really going through at home. But it started then because he took his own life, and I was the one who found him, and I was only 11.
Bless your heart.
And so, yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. I've been through a lot to recover from that. But, and then recently I lost another really good, a best friend of mine who was also in music. He was almost kind of like my adult version of that. So, and that just happened about 5 months ago. And very unexpectedly and tragically, he was only 34 years old. So, it started from that. It started with that because he took his life, and he actually, same thing, he hung himself. And like I said, I found him. But, so that led to my kind of start of my downfall. As a kid, I thought, oh, let me do the same thing and I can be with him, because all I cared about was being with him, because he was the closest thing that I ever had to anything, whatever you think at that age, And so that was the start of it. And I think it really was just that. I think, and like with a lot of people, I think there's just things that happen to us. We have no idea grief is a crazy thing, and it just has to take its process. And I think if you're not mature in it, or you don't, I'm not saying that you ever can deal well with it, but if you're at least conscious and aware of it, you can go through it a little bit more. You can allow yourself to go through it. But when you're a kid, you don't know what's going on, and you don't have any kind of foundation or support, and you're coming from an unhealthy environment. And so it's kind of like there's really no hope for me, or there wasn't, but somehow there still was. But I mean, so, I had my time of just having to walk through that and get through that and process through that and mature in the way that I did and develop. And so, like I said, I know what it's like to just be feeling like you're just dead inside, and like there's nothing, and you can have so many people around you but feel so alone. And so, or and then also being a performer, like I said, I'm not as on the level of Robin Williams, or never was, but I do know what it's like to just live this life where this is your world. And so many people seem to only care about you when you're on stage, but they know nothing about you really in person. And they think they just have this false persona of you, and they think that you're the most strongest, invincible, like thing ever. And it's like, oh my gosh, no, trust me, like I'm worse than you, or
sure.
And then it feels. So I think that what happens is it's almost like it's a very honorable it's a complimenting, honorable thing, but then at the same time it's a very lonely place, because then what comes with that is that people don't take the time to think there may be something that you may not be okay. And so when you don't have that real strong whatever, and even if you do, I guess people can still feel that way, and I don't understand. I'll never understand it, but that's just kind of, for me, that's where it started. And and like I said, I didn't succeed at my attempts, which I thank God for that. For some reason he spared me, or whatever. I didn't, but I did a lot of other things. I just put myself in positions in a lifestyle that was almost like pretty much attempting every day, like just with the things that I was involved in. And then, like I said, I think it was a series of things that happened, and it was like, and I remember a revelation point where it was like, it just all made sense all of a sudden, where I was like, no, I went through all this because this is how I'm going to be able to help and kind of be able to, whatever. It's just not, I don't like to use the word save, because I can't really save anyone. That's only God's job. Mm-hmm. But be able to have a part in maybe, you know, really changing someone's mind or helping someone or making them see like they don't have to stay in that place of, you know, like the thing, because there's some, I mean, let's face it, there's some really crazy things that just happen. This world is getting crazier and crazier, but
Absolutely.
like you can overcome and you can even turn it into something amazing and beautiful and actually even end up teaching other, or, you know, it affects someone else in that way. I mean, that's a miracle. So, you know, I don't know if kind of going on, but like,
no, you're fine. I think this is the quietest I've ever been in a show.
I know, I'm like tearing up over here.
But what an inspiration you are, and I don't know if you hear that, but you should hear it. And it's great that that you're able to lay yourself out there like that and let people sort of pick you apart and examine you, because you know that some people are. But then there are those people out there that need to hear this, that maybe are going through the same things that you've been through, and maybe they feel like there's not any hope. But then they hear your story and they think, well, you know, Lauren made it through it. Maybe I can too, you know. And
I hope so.
And not
Man, I
only,
hope so.
okay, shut up. Now you talked. and not only that, but I mean, you not only just made it through it and skated. You didn't do that. I mean, it's almost like you embraced it, and now you have this talent that I'm just going to say it right now. This is like my favorite interview that we've ever done.
Yes,
I think by far, because I think
we're getting really real on this.
I think Lauren is probably she's just real, and she's laying it on the line, and I think this is a great message. Now, we've had some good messages on the show before, but nobody's ever opened up like this.
And I would just like to say, I think you have, you know, guts for telling your story, because there's a lot of people out there that don't want to tell the darker side, or the side that's not so glamorous, or the side that's not so pretty, because they don't want people to know that they were that close to committing suicide. I mean, I've been there. There's been a lot of people that have been there, and it seems like the world is obsessed with perfection, and when we strip all that away and we see what it really is, that's, you know, when we can, what's the word I'm looking for?
You know, wouldn't it be
we can
cool?
start to unite. We can start to actually see that we bleed the same red.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if people could get in there and just learn to embrace their mistakes and learn from them, and realize that it's okay to screw up. You know, it's okay to make a mistake every once in a while, and just learn from it. And this is
and success never happens without that failure. Failure is the best thing that could ever happen to you. Seriously.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I'd high five you for that one if you were here.
Yeah.
Here, I just high fived my tablet.
There you go. Now, we're already 15 minutes over. I hope that's okay.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sweating, but it's fine.
Okay. Well, now we still got 2 more songs, and we're going to play Shadow. And
awesome.
If you want to just real quick tell me what Shadow's about, give me a little insight on that.
Breaking in the shadow.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. It was originally we had thought about. You know, I just want to say too. So Mario Marchetti. I don't know if he's listening, but he's an amazing. You should look him up. He's a well-credited, amazing. He's just doing amazing things. I got the privilege and honor of being able to work with him right before he got his first Billboard pop charting song with another. He's incredible, and I just want to give him the shout out because he produced Hurt, Shadow, and some of my other songs, and we're actually going to do, hopefully we're going to finish this record together when I go out to LA in September. Anyway, so he produced Shadow, and I really want to I'm bringing him up also because I don't know if I guess it kind of relates to the other question earlier, but the people that I wrote Shadow with did not like the way, I'm not going to say their names, but they did not like the way that it was the vision that Mario and I had to produce it. And what you're about to hear is the way it obviously is the final product, and it ended up winning the Hollywood Music Media Award for Best R&B Soul Song of the Year last year. Sweet. So I really appreciate the fact that he went with, it wasn't about following a format or following anything that we were pressured to do at the time. It was about just what he was feeling and what I was feeling. And we were like, dude, we're going with this. We don't even care what it is.
Definitely.
Doesn't make sense. Whatever. We don't care. And so I really, and now the video, I just did a music video for it, and it's going to release pretty soon. I'm excited about it. But this song, basically, I had to get a tattoo after I got this song. I got a tattoo on my wrist. It says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It's a scripture in Isaiah, but it's on my wrist because it reminds me of that. Just in general, nothing will ever, really get a hold of me and destroy me. And it's also over the scar of, just being real, the scar that I had when I did what stupid teenagers do when they're young and
Sure.
slit their wrist. So it's over that scar, so it kind of redeems that whole thing also. And the song is pretty much about that, where the shadow represents that old life and that past that was just following me everywhere. And it's like a shadow you can't get rid of. And so this is kind of a weird backwards way of saying it, but like breaking the light to get rid of that shadow and kind of walk into a light.
Brilliant.
A new light.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And you are hitting on so many good things. And you know what I like about Lauren?
What's that?
She's just, I'm going to talk like as if you're not here, Lauren.
God.
It's like she's just getting started. And she's on a roll. It's like she's made all these mistakes. She's learned all these things. And now she's getting on with her life, getting on with her career. And I think one of the keys here, and I think one of the things that I'm taking from the whole conversation is the person that you are. It's not based on what happened in the past. The person that you are is based on what happens from this day forward. And I think that's a big message that I'm getting from Lauren. And I have nothing but love and respect for her.
Me too.
Totally. So,
my respect for her just went up 100%.
Oh, dude, I thought I loved her before. This is great. Okay, now you're back, Lauren. So now
Lauren.
we're gonna play Shadow, Lauren Silva on the Chris Top program.
Blinded by the spotlight, can't turn off the switch. Addiction to the pain became my ventriloquist. I'm convicted.
your music is taking on so many different meaning, or a new meaning for me now, because
Yes.
I've listened to this particular song several times, but now hearing it again, it's stronger now.
I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
after all the things that we've heard from Lauren, and like, it gives it new meaning. We see what was in her heart when she was writing this, and it
Now, for me, there's really no other way to see it.
Exactly.
You know, well, I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think it's a good thing because we can see it from another person's point of view.
Sure. You know, this has been not only my favorite interview ever, and I've got, you know, there's probably still people listening from the other interviews that we did today. They're like, really, Chris? Really? I thought you liked us. Well, I do. I like if we didn't like you, we wouldn't have you on the show.
Exactly.
Right.
But there's something about this connection here in this interview and the things that you've said. This is just, on top of it being my favorite, what I was getting to, this is exhausting. I'm like tired.
Me too. But I really like it, Lauren, because I mean, like, there's some of the things that you said that I really relate to you on, and it's you know, given me, you know, things to think on.
Now, if you let me ask you some typical Chris Top questions before we finish the show and play Seeing Red.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Oh wait, I gotta ask you this one first. Damn it.
Is it the question?
Damn it. No, it's not that one. If you could change anything about your life that's led up to where you're at now, would you change it?
No.
No. Really? And I didn't know which way you were going to go with that, just because of some of the things you said. Because, I mean, if you change stuff, would you be where you're at now? And if you know, but then you look back, it'd be nice to take some of that bad stuff out. Mm-hmm. You know, but why wouldn't you change anything?
I believe everything happens for a reason.
Sure. And I know you believe, you're not just saying that just to sound cool.
No, I mean, there's blessings in disguise. It's crazy, and I know. I mean, I've gotten in these conversations for some of the most horrible things you can imagine that happen, and I can't explain, you know, all that stuff, and it's beyond me. But like, that's just the point. Like, that's beyond me. But like, I just, you know, I'm not the author of my life, and I know I have free will, but like, at the same time, that's kind of part of it. I mean, who wants to be a puppet? You know, who wants to have someone who's, you know, predestinating? Is that the word? Or
Predestined?
It sounds cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that means you'd be a robot, you'd be a puppet, and that's the beauty of it. Also, is you have the gift of free will. So, but then at the same time, like, you're also. You're still, I can't explain it, and it's like, once again, it's not something that I'm supposed to be able to explain, because you have to think about it. Like, for us to even think that all there is just us, it's beyond, that's just already like a self-righteous thing, right? But like, so for you to be able to just give to, hey, there's things I don't understand and I don't know, but it is what it is, and I'm here where I'm at, and it's happened the way it's happened for a reason, and so what am I going to do with it? And so and like you said, you know, I wouldn't be who I am. I mean, who knows? For whatever reason, this is the life. This is my circumstances, you know, circumstances you're born into. You can't control who your parents are, all these things. But like, there's a reason why that's your path, or that's what you were born into. And now it's like up to you also to do what you're going to do with it, but also know that you're still being watched over. It's kind of a cool thing to know. You know, you're not alone either. You know?
Okay. Now, I've got one more serious question, but I'm only going to give you 10 seconds to answer it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And I'm going to count on my fingers, so it's not going to be a legitimate 10 seconds, but it'll be pretty close. All right. So somebody comes up to you. They're at the end of their rope, and they look at you and say, Lauren, I just don't think my life's worth anything anymore. It's done. What advice do you give to them? Go.
Oh, boy.
I'll start counting now.
Wait, let me think. I'm not good at.
Okay, I'll let you think for a minute.
Can you say it one more time?
Okay, somebody comes up to you. They're at the end of their rope. They look at you. There's tears in their eyes. You can tell they've been through just a ton of stuff. And they say, Lauren, my life is it's over. It's not worth anything anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done. And you know what they mean by that. What do you tell them?
I would ask if I could pray with them.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe that's all they need. Maybe they just need to sit down with somebody and pray or listen or just maybe they just need somebody to listen to them.
Because sometimes that's all there is. Because, I mean, being that person that just, they sit and they listen, I mean, sometimes that's all a person needs is somebody to vent to.
And I admire you for saying that,
it's funny
too.
you just said that because that's the other thing I was going to say. And if they weren't cool with that, then I'd be like, okay, well, tell me why you feel that. Mm-hmm. And then kind of just let it go from there. Because I've actually been in that position. So, I've seen different things. But, sometimes I've actually realized a lot. I know we have 10 seconds. I realized a lot of times people just need someone to actually, genuinely listen to them. Just, and actually genuinely care and not be looking at their phone or looking at their, the clock or whatever. But just be and really act like they care, too. They're not zoning out, but they're really just, they're just listening. A lot of times they don't even need an answer. They just need somebody to freaking listen to them and actually care.
Sure. Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, okay, the most important question of the night. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
You're sitting down, right? I know you're sitting down. Okay, take a deep breath.
She's standing up in the car.
Okay. Did you take a deep breath?
Yes.
Are you just saying that or did you take a deep breath?
No, I really did because I have to because it's hot in here.
Okay, here we go. If you could have any superhero power, what would it be?
To heal.
See, she's just real. All right, if you had a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee with anybody throughout history, it could be somebody that's around now, or they could have been dead for 1,000 years. Who would it be?
Oh my gosh. Shoot, that's so hard. There's so many.
It's a tough one.
Okay, so if you would have said 2,000 years, I would have said Jesus, but you said 1,000. So I'm gonna say,
Okay. Let's go with what would you ask Jesus if you had 5 minutes and he gave you one question?
I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to make this it's all about
I don't know that anybody's ever said Jesus before.
One person said Jesus.
Okay, what would you ask?
Besides Lauren.
Because you only said 1,000 years though, so this was 2,000 years ago.
Whatever.
So.
Okay, but if you had a question to ask Jesus, what would that question be?
Oh.
Could you teach me how to walk on water? Because that'd be cool during the show. That would be a showstopper.
Yeah, I know, right? I would ask him. What was really going through his mind when he was, when he was just doing all the miracles he was doing.
Well, you got to think, you got to put it in perspective. I mean, he was a person.
What was he thinking? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, imagine
what was
being
he really
just
thinking though, all this stuff. Oh my God, I'm this. What do you think as a mortal human being?
He was the first superhero.
Exactly.
Exactly. See.
Yeah. So that was cool. That was cool.
No, absolutely. You know what? The other person, I'll be honest with you, the other person would be Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Why Michael Jackson?
Very nice.
He is just, he was just beyond. He was just so amazing. I would love to just be able to just see his mannerisms, just see the way he would talk and the way he, to put out such genius into the life he had and just the way he was able to put out such amazingness. And the fact that he never really played instruments. It was all in his head. He was this musical.
Sure.
He was this entire symphony in his mind.
Can you moonwalk?
Yeah. Huh?
Can you moonwalk?
Can you do the thriller?
I used to. I can moonwalk when I'm in tap shoes. Yeah. Because it's more slippery, right?
I bet you can tap like nobody's business.
Did you memorize the Thriller dance like I did?
Oh my God! Hell yeah! I did my own. I'm kidding. I did my own concerts in my living room and made all my mom's drunk friends watch me. It was ridiculous.
Do you watch The Walking Dead?
Oh my God! You know what's funny? So if we were talking, I thought you were going to ask me a current person that I want to sit down with, and I was going to tell you Norman Reedus.
No, I almost got to meet him.
Oh my gosh! I'm supposed to leave Austin in September, but I'm actually thinking of staying through October because he's going to be here for the Comic-Con. And I just want to, I just want to be able to say hi. I love Walking Dead. That show, I've never been really a TV series person.
Right.
But that show, and I'm not a zombie person. I'm not an apocalypse. I'm not a horror film person. I don't like any of that stuff. But that's what's even more amazing, like the show, because the show is so incredible. It's almost like the Turtles movie. You forget it's about turtles.
Yeah, and what do we always talk about on the show when we talk about Walking Dead? It's not just about the zombies; it's character driven.
Yeah, the show is bigger than the zombies.
Yeah.
It's so, you almost forget, like that becomes a second thing. It's the character development. I know from the beginning to the end. I even paid to be able to have all of the last season downloaded just so I can catch up, because I actually didn't get up on that show until like a few months ago. So I watched all of it, and I did a marathon, and boy, is that heavy. I mean, I was depressed for weeks or had nightmares, but still, it was incredible. It was so worth it, because it just shows, what it also shows is like just about humans. Like it shows about like what we would really, like, what would we do when we're in these desperate situations or to survive, or how, we can change even though we wouldn't want to. And it's really, it's incredible.
It's like you hold on to hope, and you hang on to that feeling that things are going to be normal again, but then one day it clicks and you just realize it's never going to be normal again, so you have to embrace what you have. And that's the metamorphosis you've seen these characters go throughout the whole season, or throughout all the seasons.
Character development is so genius. Like it's amazing. So amazing. Anyway,
I knew we liked her for a reason.
Exactly.
I knew that.
She likes the Walking Dead.
Are you a cat or a dog person?
Oh.
Be careful.
Okay,
Abby's right here.
Abby's right here, so be careful.
I'm not a puppy person because I had one and I just couldn't keep up.
Sure.
But I'm a dog person if they're older and already trained. But then I'm a cat person because they're easier to just kind of maintain.
The only politically correct answer she gave was on the animal question. That was it. Well, look, we've kept you 30 minutes over, so what we're going to do, we're going to play Seeing Red. And I told you I was not going to listen to this song until I had you on the air. So we're going to play this one. You can't talk now because I have not heard this. Okay, so you got to let me listen to it. We'll come back, we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll let you do what you need to do.
Okay.
That's the plan, unless you get sidetracked, because I know you're long-winded.
No, I feel like I wish we had a happy song now. Anyway. Okay.
Well, we'll save that for the next show, and we'll play just happy songs.
Definitely.
Okay. Right. So you wanna do this one? Sure. I never let you do songs.
Well, you did that one time.
Well, we did that one time, and you screwed it up bad. So we're giving you a second chance.
Yes. Okay. Right. You are now listening. Well, actually, I just messed that up.
Sound like you're reading. Just say
you
it.
You are now listening. All right, Seeing Red by Lauren Silva.
Some things can't fix by talking, can only get there by walking. I am unraveling, the porcelain's cracking. I cannot hide this truth anymore. Didn't have to see your mirror, the beauty's been erased, faith has gone away. There's a stranger in this place. Oh, I was seeing red. Oh, I was seeing red. Wisest thing I never said is now the one thing I regret. Oh, I was seeing red. Oh, I was seeing red. Wish I could forgive and forget. It should have ended right then. No, no, no. I was acting, the crowd was clapping. As the curtains close, they don't really know how the story goes. It was just a show, and gravity holds down these wings of mine, and I can't fly. Oh, I didn't have to see a mirror. The beauty's been erased, and grace has gone away. There's a stranger in her place. Oh, I was seeing red. Oh, I was seeing red. Wisest thing I never said is now the one thing I regret. Oh, I was seeing red. forget. It should have ended right then. I see red. I see. Oh, I was seeing red. Oh, I was seeing red. The wisest thing I'd never said is now the one thing I regret. Oh, I was seeing red. I was seeing red. Wish I could forgive and forget. Should have ended right then. Seeing red, yeah.
Is it even possible for you to sing a song without that much emotion? I mean, it's like every song you sing, it just sort of just takes you to a place.
It's pretty dramatic, isn't it? I'm sorry.
It's almost like a theatrical performance. I mean, I would almost expect to hear it in some type of a musical.
Yeah. But that's what I want from a song, is like something that's going to be emotional to that person, because it's also going to be emotional to the person that's listening.
And that again was a little bit different than some of the other stuff we played, because I haven't gotten that theatrical feel from her yet until now, until this one. And I could see how it's really relatable to people, because we all wish we could get past some of our emotions and do what's right, but we just can't sometimes because we're human.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Great song.
It's a hard life.
Great song. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, or any behind the scenes stuff, or are you done? You're just like ready to go, aren't you?
Get out of that sweaty car.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean,
Lauren's kind of stinky.
That song is pretty.
She smells bad.
Self-explanatory, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm good. I'm having a good time with you guys, honestly.
Well, good, and we love you to death. And I don't even see this as an interview. This is more of a.
This is like a conversation.
A conversation between friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is fun, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
Next time we're going 24 hours straight.
Yeah, 24 hours, and we'll just plan on it. And that way, maybe maybe she can get to an air-conditioned place or something.
An all-nighter. We'll just have an all-nighter.
Now, if people want to find you, stalk you, listen to your music, buy your music, where do they go? What do they do?
LaurenSilvaMusic.com, and then Facebook, Lauren Silva Music. Instagram, same thing, and then Twitter. Twitter's a weird thing. I wish it could be Lauren Silva Music, but it comes out with Lauren Silva Muse, like Lauren Silva MUS. They won't allow me to do the IC, so I had to put it to Lauren Silva Soul. So all that stuff, yes. And I actually do. Every single person I talk to every single person who ever requests friend requests, whatever. Like, I like to really try to. I always talk to everyone. So anyway. So anyone who wants to friend me, I'll actually really talk to you.
Good.
Really?
But I feel enlightened. I mean, this was a great show. I was going to say fun, but it was more than that. It was just a gritty show. It was good.
I like the shows that change my life and their life. Everybody listens.
An hour and a half can change your life.
Even for the people that are hosting the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
You guys have been more than a joy. Definitely, you've been awesome.
Well, we love you and thank you for that. Now,
I love you guys too.
Thank you. And if somebody wants to catch you live, do you have your like your tour dates set up on your site or anything?
Yes, on LaurenSilvaMusic.com.
Okay, and they can go there and they can get links to anything you do, any of your Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. And you do sell your music, right?
Yes, everything is it's Spotify and iTunes, and everything should be out there, and like everything, even more than the stuff that on this show, but just all the stuff.
Yeah, I have such and I don't mean to put pressure on you, but I have high expectations.
As do I. I mean, this stuff
for
is
you.
legit.
I mean, you're just so talented, and you're beautiful, and you've got it together, and I don't know how you got it
And
together.
you've got such a great story too.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Thank you.
anyway,
Well, it's not easy doing it independent, but definitely I'm gonna keep going and keep working with people that I love working with people. It's just got to be the right people. You know what I mean?
sure, absolutely. And one of these days you'll make it to Nashville. We'll be able to see you.
Yes, sooner than later. You guys might just be surprised. We'll talk about it.
Okay, well, you give me as much heads up as you can.
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
Okay, good. I'm going to take us out this time, and we'll call it a night. I mean, see,
Are you gonna sing, Chris?
am I going to sing?
He's gonna sing. One,
You said you're gonna take us out, so I'm
one,
like,
two, three, and go.
Oh,
Chris.
now if you ever need like a male vocalist, on one of your,
Don't call him. He can't sing.
if you want to do like a duet or something.
Nope.
No,
No.
yes.
We
Let's
could
do a video.
definitely work together. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with me? Right?
All right.
There you go. No,
Right.
seriously.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
let's do it.
I'm totally screwing with you.
He's
I can't
got
sing at all.
such a great radio voice, but he can't sing a tune.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Like I said a million times before, we do not, nor will we ever take any of you for granted until we broadcast again. Please remember this. Life is good, and we are gone.
Maybe a dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time for an acronym.
2, 3, 4.
W